Gibbons. That's who we're going to talk about today. So, how to play like Billy Gibbons. First of all, I went and saw Billy Gibbons play with ZZ Top about a month ago. And I was surprised at how, the music is pretty intense. It's pretty loud and it's rocking, but he's very relaxed on stage. He moves around a little bit. There's a little bit of choreographing going on, dance moves and such, to kind of keep things interesting. But for the most part, Billy is just very relaxed. He's not really digging into the notes a lot. He uses a lot of volume from the amp. He's not turning the amp down and like really digging in. He's turning the amp up and just kind of gliding across the strings, which has taken me a long time to really get, as I've gotten older as a player. You can kind of, dime the amp more and then, just play lighter and let the amp kind of sort of open up to sort of how you play. And, Billy Gibbons is just no exception to that. He doesn't use his volume knob. He didn't really mess with his volume and tone knobs quite like I thought he would. But really, his, it's just light. That's Jesus Left Chicago. The first one I did was Tush. He's not, he's really not, he's not digging in. Even the stuff that sounds really intense, I heard him play Waiting for the Bus one time on on Eric Clapton Crossroads DVD. You can go check that out. You can watch ZZ Top play on Crossroads, and it's just real laid back. It's like laid back, but it's intense at the same time. So anyway, the other thing too is pretty much everything is just like, even though stuff a little bit different, like that waiting for the bus. It's like for years I thought it was. I think it's. So it's not. I'm not playing like Billy at the moment because I kind of want to show you exactly what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure he's going. Like that. I don't know the turnaround there, that last little bit. But anyway, so I really wanted to talk about Billy. The other thing that I think is really interesting is his slide playing. Of course, I don't have a slide with me at the moment. Just give me a second. I do have a slide. So like on Tush, we'll go back to Tush. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but Billy typically plays with a pick, so when he's playing Tush, it's like frets, but again, I'm not playing super, I'm not hitting the strings super hard. It's just a lot of the intensity that you're hearing is from the amp. That amp is pretty cranked. I'm playing through my Marshall, so really any Marshall, particularly the older ones, and like a Les Paul, some kind of Gibson type guitar with a humbucker can really get pretty close. There's two more things that I wanted to show you about Billy that I got wrong for years that I think is really good stuff to learn, and that's probably their biggest song is Grange. So for years I thought that the intro to Grange was that's not it. That's not it. Billy has a real impeccable sense of what's called hybrid picking, which is where he's picking more than one note at the same time. And so let me demonstrate that for you real quick. Sorry. So it's So that is the intro to Grange. That's the true way to play it. And I'm relaxing a little bit. I'm trying to stay relaxed for you guys because again, he was very relaxed when he played. So he starts out pretty soft, and on the record it actually sounds like on the intro he might be playing a Strat or some kind of single coil guitar. So not these, but like a Stratocaster. I don't want to get too technical, but either a Stratocaster or a Tele. It's a real clean sound that you're hearing on the record. But that might also be, I think he played 100-watt amps too, and they had a tendency to be cleaner when turned down. So anyway, I'm gonna show the difference between the intro to Grange and then the, I guess, heavy intro, the second part of the intro, and verse. So it's like... So he's alternating between the second fret. He's barring the second fret, the top four strings, bottom four strings, and then he's hammering on the fifth fret with his pinky. And he has big fingers, so he might even be using his third finger, but... He's hybrid picking, so he's going... You can hear my Tennessee accent coming out. Hybrid picking instead of hybrid picking. Hybrid picking. Hybrid picking. And I think he got that from Earl Hooker or either Earl Hooker or Magic Sam in the 50s. It's called a boogie. It might even be Earl's Boogie, I think it's what it's called. But so go look that up, Magic Sam and Earl Hooker. You'll definitely hear a lot of, those guys were, they were kind of playing rock and roll before rock and roll really kind of peaked in the mid to late, but probably mid 70s, kind of before disco took over. But we won't get into that. There's one last thing that I want to show you, which is I want to show you one other thing, which is alternating between those two parts on Grange. So sorry. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-boom. It's probably digging in a little bit more there. So anyway, that's not the intro. It's the intro is... The other thing too that's really cool that took me a lot of years to really figure out is how staccato he plays. So he's not going... He's going... You hear that? If you can kind of get that sort of thing going too. And again, if you listen to that Earl Hooker tune, he does that. There's a part in the song where he's actually just staying on that one rhythmic part, which is just, and like really muting those strings. So if you're ever playing a bar gig anywhere, at least in the continental U.S., and you're not, it's towards the end of the night and you're not really sure what to play, and people have had a few drinks, bust that song out, because people really dig that song. And again, I know you've heard it a million times, but it's a good way to kind of bounce back from a gig that maybe people are getting a little bit, where you're playing too many John Mayer ballads or something. So there's one last thing that I want to talk about, and it's a song called, I got to retune real quick, so. Okay, so Cheap Sunglasses. That's another one that I think really showcases is a good word. Showcases Billy's abilities. So I'll do that real quick for you. So it's So, again, for years I thought it was, sorry. I thought that was it for years, okay? And that's not it. So, what he's doing is he's sliding up, he's sliding from second fret to third fret, right? And then he's hybrid picking. This takes some practice. So he's hybrid picking the third fret of the low E, and then he's playing that D string open, and then so it's basically third fret, first fret. So first fret low string. So and doing the same thing, just going up to the A. So he's hitting the A string and the G string there. So that's I don't know where he heard that or how he came up with that, but man, there's so much more meat there playing those strings, playing those open strings, you know. That really opened up. That was a big deal for me when I learned how to play those open string, they call them double stops, because they have so much more power to them. And again, staccato, right? Not, you know what I mean? It sounds like shit. You gotta really mute those strings. So. And then this. But I mean, I don't know. That's a cool part, I guess. That's the second part of Cheap Sunglasses. It's cool, but it's not that challenging, you know. It really, the thing I like about that second part of it is it really, it's out of left field. You know, you don't really expect it. So anyway, that's all for now. I just really wanted to, you know, talk about Billy, and I watched a video earlier of another artist that I've been following, and they did a really good video, a tutorial video on a blues musician, and I felt inspired to make one myself. So again, I'll do another one next week, and Bruce Dickey here signing off.